Welcome to my look at Halloween Resurrection, my least favorite installment of the many film series given us. Given how that also includes Infamy of the Thorn Cult and the Rob Zombie films, that is saying something, so let's get this over with. Seeing as this picks up right where H2O left off, you would think that they deal with the aftermath of that film's ending and explore what comes next. Laura got institutionalized, and then she got killed by Michael on the first 15 minutes or so of screen time. The movie goes downhill from here, and it's already in the ravine where the ambulance crashed in the last one. I personally think this is worse than the bus crash intro of Alien 3, worse than John getting bridged in Terminator Dark Fate. Guys, it's even worse than Luke discarding his lightsaber in episode 8. Honestly, not surprised that Curtis supported this like the script so much they only did this so they killed it off, reportedly. Regrettably, the characters in her stead are not a good replacement. And they are a gaggle of reality show contestants who must survive a night in the Myers estate. On top of how dated this premise is, exactly the kind of plot that horror in the following decades, including the reboot films eschewed, spoofed, and subverted. This is the fatal flaw. How do you find his characters so unlikable? I want Michael to kill them all. I digress. New players include Sarah Moyer, played by Bianca Kalick, Rudy, played by Sean Patrick Thomas, and Freddie Harris, played by Buster Rhymes, of all people. One standout is Jen, played by pre-famed Katie Sackhoff. Fortunately, those who saw this movie weren't talked about watching her in the Battlestar Galactica reimagined series the following year. Looking forward to seeing more of her as Bo-Katan as well. Sarah also has a PDA, which, no joke, was a viable option for a plot point at the time, and not something you would see in a thrift store either. Even Danny Lux makes a pretty mid-replacement to range of music. I'm honestly surprised this got theatrical release at all looking back 20 years. Everything about it just seems straight to DVD. Let's go over more cast members. That includes longtime staff person Brad Lorry as the Shape this time. The newcomers include Jim, played by Luke Kirby, Bill, played by Thomas Ian Nicholas, and Nora, played by Tyra Banks of all people. Anyway, as someone who has gotten their degree since I reviewed the last Halloween movie, I can't even begin to tell you how much the Dangertainment plot thread and the students irritate me. How much of a mistake it was to fridge Lori. When the audience sees no redeeming qualities in the cast and wants Michael to kill them all, the story simply doesn't work. The pacing also doesn't really do any favors, as when we reach the Myers house until the 35-minute mark, we get a kill scene that's basically the 2002 equivalent of a GoPro kill. When we're not even noticing Michael just kill a crew member is bad enough, the cinematography is even worse. David Geddes mostly did TV work before and since this movie. This film didn't see the in-practice prospects too much, thankfully. Around 42 minutes in, just under halfway through a 94-minute film, the challenge begins. Editor Robert A. Ferretti does an okay job of all the faults of the film, and I'm glad he's still active as well. One of my many problems with this film is how surprisingly dull it is. Kills actually kind of sparse with the infamous prologue, and beyond that, it's mostly just Dangertainment and people watching it. In general, I'm not into reality TV. It's just filling time until more bodies pile up. No joke. It's not almost until the halfway point we get another death scene, Mike pulling on a stage hand through a mirror somehow, to an ever-oblivious Nora and Freddy. Honestly, don't blame them for the glass of wine. Working on this movie, you do what you can survive. Beyond that, the livestream will just feel like filler until the next appearance of Michael. So the next appearance is a kill of two more contestants making love, and they decide to double down on the two Michaels in a scene that's as bad as it is mind-numbing. Can you believe it's still not even an hour in? It takes till said 1 hour mark for another kill on the basement gates. Also, for the supposed new face of the series, Sarah barely shows up that much in the movie. Buster Rhymes and Michael Myers cosplay is also a bizarre sight. I'm glad we were spared a Halloween in the Hood in hindsight. Leprechaun maybe will make that work with Ice-T, but not here. Half hour or so left, and part of me will feel differently about the producer of one change. Instead of narrowly missing each kill, they actually just watched it all unfold like a snuff film. Michael claims 2 more victims, beheading one, and crushing the other's skull. Sarah activates her Chekhov's PDA to get help and escape, and the whole sequence is ludicrous, even factoring in the Thorn cult and the remake duology. It's like a video game we had to play a game of Raider hide and seek, something I am very much not a fan of. Michael is knocked out the window in a ridiculous fight, but since we still have 16 minutes left, that obviously didn't do anything, especially as Sarah's PDA tells us. That, and surviving defenestration was the first thing he learned. He kills Freddy, and Nora wasn't even given the dignity of an on-screen death, just a pool of blood and her body hanging from the rafters. For all the attempts we makes to comment on the obsession with death and true crime, they never even went for the easiest one. Being so obsessed with obvious dangers we don't prepare for the unexpected ones until it's too late. Close on Sarah burning down the Myers house and Michael inside, becoming the lone survivor as she gets out. There's even a body bag fake out for a sequel which never happened in this continuity. The real kicker is that this was meant as a whole new direction for the franchise, which 20 years later, thankfully, didn't happen. A better title for this would have been Halloween Zombification. The film did make $30 million at the box office on a smallest $13 million budget, but still not big enough to climb for the last movie to put the series on hiatus. Among the many films franchises seen, this is one of the lowest ranked entries from both fans and critics alike, and it's personally my least favorite installment in its entire 48 plus history. Also got a low score on her 12% Rotten Tomatoes, 19 rated on Metacritic, and 3.9 out of 10 on IMDb. Even the Rob Zombie films were just bad in the sense of bad horror remake, for the most part. So original horror doesn't have that same effect. Ironically, of all the convoluted plots and characters the franchise has seen, it's a simple displeasure of vapid reality TV stars that was the final straw. It's telling that it took over a decade for the series to return to what made it work before. Glad you will finally bury this hatch at least. My final rating is 0 stars to 4. However the story ends, I can't imagine it being worse than this. See you all later this month when my look at Halloween ends.